All right, hello. Are we ready to start?
We are ready to go, so whenever you're ready, take it away.
All right. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, well, this is The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, and I will be doing any percent NMG. You may notice this is the Japanese version because, well, text is short in Japanese, but also because in the 1.0 Japanese version, there's a few tricks you can do that will be very useful in the future. Alright, so the first part is very straightforward. There's a lot of something called wall pumping, which when you walk up or left, if you mash against the wall, you can actually save some frames and walk a little bit faster. Every time I'm getting close to a wall, I'm mashing against the wall. But yeah, the first part is very straightforward. A lot of resets here though. There's a lot of enemy RNG. Alright, so we're about to save Princess Zelda, and we're going to face our first boss. Well, he's not actually a boss, but I like to call him a boss because, well, he's the ball and chain guard that guards the princess. So, and he takes 8 slashes to kill. But because this is a marathon, I'm going to use a safer strat. Let's see. So if you have any donations or anything you want to say, like, this moment is really good, because there's not much I can say about this part.
Sure. I want to remind everybody that this event is organized to benefit the Movember Foundation. The Movember Foundation is the only global charity solely focused on men's health. Everything the Movember Foundation does is to stop men dying too young. The causes they fund are research in prostate cancer, testicular cancer, male mental health, and suicide prevention. So get your donations in for a great charity.
Awesome. Yeah, keep the donations coming. It's a really good cause. Alright, so we got the princess. So now we're going to the sewers, and there's a bunch of rats there and snakes. And the snakes are not as bad. They do more damage than the rats, but they're not as bad as are in, like the movement. The rats are completely unpredictable, and they are really annoying to deal with. So normally when you're going, at least when I'm going for a PB pace or whatever, like I try to go for a sub 6 escape, which is really good for my standards, but this is marathon, so who knows. Now we're approaching the sewers. Those snakes. Alright, so this here, in this room, there's a rat that's holding a key. And he can make you lose a couple of seconds if he decides to go straight up. But this time, fortunately, he didn't go all the way up. But the most optimal way is if he goes right, so you don't have to go as far left. But yeah, I don't like that rat. Alright, so a 556 escape. That's pretty cool. Alright, so now after escape, we're going to our first dungeon, which is called Eastern Palace. And that's where we're going to grab our first item, the bow. And right after the boots, which are going to give us a lot of speed and allow us to perform some tricks, some glitches, some minor glitches that I will be explaining once I get there. So as for now, this is a very, very slow run. Not until you get the boots, the run doesn't feel as fast. Alright. So because this is a marathon run and I do not want to accidentally die to any boss, especially the boss in the Ice Palace, I'm going to grab a couple of safeties. Which I normally wouldn't do in a PB attempt, but alright, sub 740. That's good. Alright, so coming up here next, we're going to come to a room where there are normally 4 small stalfos or skeletons that you have to kill in order to open the door. But if you walk in the right to the right spot in the room, you can actually kill them before triggering them. So here it is. There's 1 and there's 2. So normally there's 4, but if you kill those there will only be 2. So. Also, there's a neat trick that we do in this dungeon as well, and so in order to get the big key for the big chest and the boss, normally you have to kill a bunch of enemies, but we can actually use our iframes with the damage boost and skip all that. It's a bit precise, and when you're not very... how do you say? It's a trick you gotta have to practice a little bit before doing it well. So there it is. I almost messed it up. Messing it up is really bad, because then you will have to try to do it again, but your health will be very low, and or you can decide to kill all the enemies, which would waste a bunch of time. So here's our bow. Oops. Alright. It's all good. It's all good. We don't want to die here. So I'm going to grab an extra heart here just for safety. Alright. Oh, okay, I messed up. No. Alright. There we go. Alright, so this boss here, if you position yourself right here and shoot 5 arrows to the right, and then keep shooting down, you get a quick cycle. So I did it right. And because normally if you kill all five of them, the last one will turn into rage mode, and his health will reset. But if you do it quickly, you can actually kill him before he goes into that rage mode. Alright, so now we're going to turn in our green pendant and grab our boots. There, talking to old man Sahasrara. Okay, now that I have boots, I can do this minor glitch I talked about, which is called spin speed. And if you charge your sword and then press the dash button as soon as you release it, it's a 1-frame trick, you get running speed while walking. To activate this, actually, it doesn't only work by doing that, but you have to walk onto manual staircases to activate it. There are 2 different staircases. There are manual ones, which you have to press up or down to walk past, like up or down them, or automatic ones that once you're on top of them, they will move you up or down. We got it again. All right. Oh yeah, A Link to the Past randomizer. That's actually really fun. Oh, I didn't get it this time. Let's see. Okay, I got it. Second try, but I messed up. So, okay, never mind. Yeah, A Link to the Past randomizer is very popular right now, and it's really fun. It's like playing a new puzzle, and it can be very refreshing. and the community does a lot of work trying to change things, how do you say, make the logic better. They do a lot of work. Alright, so now Desert Palace. Desert Palace has probably... the dungeon is really simple, very easy, but it has probably, at least in my opinion, the hardest boss in the game. Not hard as in he's going to kill you, but hard as in he can be very trolly. Very trolly. So let's see how it goes. Oh, all right. Okay. Okay, I got hit. Well, that's fine. So here also, we're stopping a little bit to grab some arrows because the boss, Lamolus, is takes more damage from the arrows than the sword. But it's also not easy to hit them with the arrows, so we have to time the shots very, very well. So hopefully I don't waste too much time with this boss. And there we got our first lift upgrade. This category is NMG, no major glitches. It's probably the most popular category, the most what's the word? Optimized category. Oh, here's a trick too. Like if you align yourself correctly, normally you can't dash into those key lock doors, but if you align yourself perfectly, you can actually get through them mid-dash. Like that. There's a few of them during the run. Okay. Oof. Oh, come on. I got trapped. I'm gonna take a hit here. Alright, so Lamolus. That was really bad. Alright. Ugh, terrible. This is a very bad fight. Alright, well, he's going to die eventually though. There we go. Normally, I tried to get him in 4 cycles, but this one was 5 or 6. It was pretty bad. All right, so now we're going to do a trick called fake flippers. Fake flippers allows you to swim without having bought the flippers from Zora yet. The way it works is if you jump into the water, you actually have one frame where you can move. So if you use that frame to transition into another screen, it will allow you, the game will think that you actually have the flippers. There's a downside to this trick, and that's that if you get hit during that fake flippering or fake swimming, you can actually soft lock the game. So, but there are like how do you say? Like if it would have happened on this run, it wouldn't have been a rip run. I would just have saved and quit and start from Sanctuary. That would have. It's allowed in races, so. But not if you're attempting a PB run, then that is not allowed. Alright, so now we're going to a Tower of Hera, and its boss is Moldorm. Hey, Mr. Wonder, thanks for the good lucks. Alright, so Moldorm is a boss, and he is very well known for ruining runs, and actually has the nickname of Trolldorm, because, well, he can troll you really hard. But in my opinion, not more than Lanmo. Lanmo definitely trolls you more than him. So we'll see how it goes. Alright. I just love the music in this game. Alright. And I'm gonna do a thing that might be a little bit slower than normal strats, but I just like to take a little break here. So I just go there. And if I'm standing on the pegs when they're turning up, they give me iframes, so I can just sit here for about 40 seconds and let that, you know, just sit there and chill. Also, oh, I messed up, but that's fine. That worked out, actually. Alright, so coming up, I'm going to do the first bomb jump up the run. Bomb jumps allow you to go through... Like, we use them in certain occasions, and... like, when we get to Ice Palace, it can save a lot of time. So hopefully I don't mess this up. Alright. There we go. So you can do it either aligning yourself perfectly to the edge and then doing the bomb jump, or you can actually do a bonk and it gives you more leeway to do the bomb jump. I prefer doing the bonk because, well, I'm not that good at this game. But anyway, alright, so this is the boss. This is Moldorm. Takes 6 hits with the fighter sword. So hopefully I don't die or fall. Especially through the middle hole. The middle hole is the worst part you can fall because you fall 2 levels down. Okay, but we got it. That was pretty good. So normally when you land a hit on Moldorm's head, it will bounce you backwards. So what I was doing there to avoid that is I was using my dash at a perfect time there, so it wouldn't give me any knockback. Yo, thank you. I'm very low on arrows. That's not really fun. But I'm good on rupees. Alright, this guy likes to troll. So what I'm doing here, I pulled the tree because I'm setting up for what's called a rupee tree pull. So if you kill 4 enemies without getting hit, next time I'll pull from the tree, it will drop 4 red rupees, and that will give me 80 rupees, and I will have enough to enter Palace of Darkness, because in order to enter Palace of Darkness you need to have 110 rupees. Alright, so sub 25 Master Sword, that's good, I'll take it. Alright, and because this is a marathon run, well, I'm going to grab the mushroom. Alright, I'm going to grab all the safeties that I can imagine. Like I said. Well, not all of the safeties, but a few safeties. Alright, so I have killed 3 enemies. But I need to kill 1 more. And hope that I don't get trolled by any bush enemies, because that can happen. Oops, alright, well, that's fine. Alright, so now I'm gonna have 4 red rupees. I'm gonna grab all of them, and now I have enough. Alright, here I'm going to do something called a fence dash. If you time your dash well, you can actually dash around the fence. Normally, if I would have dashed normally there, I would have bonked, even if it didn't look like it could happen. You can do it another time, like you can do it a few times in the run. They don't save that much time, but it's always cool to do them. Alright, Tower of this is Aghanim's Tower. Okay. Huh. I can't believe I got that. Alright, well, that's fine. So I only have 2 arrows. That's not that good. I might have to backtrack a little bit and grab some extra arrows in the next dungeon. Bomb counts and arrow counts are really tight in this run, so, and of course this maze, so you have to be very careful when you use your bombs and arrows. There are backups, of course, but when you're going for a PB attempt or something like that, it can be a huge waste of time. Oh, look, well, something funny happened there. Not only did I fall, but I fell and got hit by the guard as I was falling. That is actually something that only happened in the Japanese version. And it was cool, I could showcase that to you guys too. Okay. Alright. Okay, thank you. Alright, so now we're getting to the RNG boss. So Aghanim, he is the wizard who kidnapped our princess, and he has 3 types of attacks. He has the lightning attack, he has the yellow beam attack, and he has the blue balls. And the blue balls, so the first attack will always be a yellow beam. The second to the fourth attack can be 50-50, a yellow beam or a blue ball. And the fifth attack will always be a lightning. So what you want to do is you want to hit the yellow beams back to him in order to hit him. And he takes 6 hits. So let's see what the RNG is. So this one is always a yellow beam. And from now on, it's 50-50, so that's bad luck already. Wow. So the maximum you can get are 15 blue balls. So thank God I can't get the 15, but I can still get many more. Average is 3, at least for me. Alright, still good. 3. Alright. So if this is a yellow ball, I will only have 3. Nope. Alright, 4. Let's go. Alright. Don't worry, my PB has 9 blue balls. 5. And 5. Alright, 5. That's not too bad. Alright. So welcome to the Dark World. So now this is where the run starts to get really scary. Like enemies do more damage. The strats are a little bit more riskier. And yeah. Especially the first dungeon for me is a little bit like scary, so I'll try to be as safe as I can. Well, you kind of were wrong. Like if you add 3 plus 2, that equals 5. So you kind of were right too. So. All right, I'm gonna try again. Alright, we got it. Second try. Alright, so now Palace of Darkness. So Palace of Darkness, I already showed you a bomb jump in Tower of Hera. Well, here, there's another bomb jump, which is much more precise. It's a pixel perfect, double pixel perfect trick that you have to do on a falling bridge. So not only you have to position yourself perfectly, but you have kind of a timer to do it. And for newer runners, it can be a little stressful at the beginning to learn. It saves about 40 seconds, I believe, or 30 or something like that. Yeah, there's a little bit of delay. But yeah, we need bombs. We need a lot of bombs, so I'm gonna be picking up bombs every time I can. I'm gonna pause a little bit there and jump, because if I do it too fast, I get hit. I don't know how to time that well. I get hit as I'm falling, and I don't want to take damage. Correct. Alright. Oh, I'm not used to having mushrooms, so my menu is a little bit weird. Alright. So here, I'm gonna grab some extra arrows here. That's a big key. So now we're coming to that hammer jump or hammer jump. Hopefully I'm not too nervous and I won't mess it up. Alright, here it goes. Okay. I'm 1 pixel off. Can you believe that? There we go. We got it. That's the first pixel and that's the second pixel. Alright, so we got it. Took like 10 buffers, but we got it. Right, so that allowed us to jump over the railing and get here without having to do all the maze inside here. It's a very cool bomb jump. Like, bomb jumps in this game are really cool, especially when you play randomizer, because you can do, there's more bomb jumps you can do in the randomizer. There's only 2 more bomb jumps in this game, I believe, right now. There's one in Ice Palace and there's one in Skullwoods. So you'll be enjoying it a little bit more. And probably the most important one is in Ice Palace. It saves a huge amount of time. I don't know how much is saved again, like maybe 5 minutes, maybe more. Normally, well, I will explain that when I get there. So we're coming up to the first Dark World boss called Helmasaur. Helmasaur has a helmet or a mask that you have to break. It takes 17 hits with the hammer to break it. And then you have to hit his middle... Oh, okay. Sorry about that. That was not intentional. Let's see if we can... That's not very good. That's very bad. I'm having some issues with my controller, but that shouldn't happen again. Should be fine now. Alright, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see. All right, I waited a little bit there because you can despawn. Ooh, okay, that was a very slow fight, but I didn't die. So after breaking the mask, you have to hit that little thing on his head 8 times with the sword or with 8 arrows, or you can do a riskier strat with the hammer and hit him 4 times. But the hitbox is really small, so it's kind of tricky to get in there and hit it. But we got it. More texts. A crystal 1. Oh, good thing you reminded me. So the order you do the dungeons in this game is different than what they intended to. Normally, the game intends you to go here, and then to Swamp Palace, then to Skullwoods, Thieves Town, etc. But here, after this first crystal, we're going straight to dungeon 4. Wow. Wow. Talk about enemy RNG, dude. Anyway. Okay, well. Let's hope I don't die. Alright, well. Alright, so what I did there is called hammer dash. So in the Japanese version, you can dash using an item at the same time. I'm not sure if it works with all the items, but it works with a few of them, and it allowed me to go through the pegs much faster. It's very easy to do too, like you press dash and the item you want to use on the same frame. Alright, so... Alright, so we got our flute, but before freeing the bird, we're going to do some side quests, grab some safeties. This is the best time to do it. If you go for safeties, this is the best time. So we're going here. I'm gonna go to a tavern, to the bar from behind, and grab our first bottle. And then to the house right in front of it to grab our bugnet. If we don't grab the bottle first, this guy won't wake up and won't give us the bugnet. So we need the bottle first. And now I'm gonna free the bird. Beautiful music. Also, there's a trick here. You can also do item dash with the flute, and it will actually call the bird faster. So if you mash here, he will come back faster. Do the trick there. And grab our powder. So that will be our last safety. Oh, too quick. So now we are back on track. Now we're going to the crystal dungeon number 4 to grab our second lift upgrade, because we're gonna need it to get our upgraded sword, the tempered sword, which is really strong. Alright. Alright. I'm gonna be safe. I'm gonna try to be safe in this dungeon. Better safe than sorry. Yeah, everything does 2 hearts of damage here. at least most of it. So I have to be really careful. Alright, so the key dash. Alright, so here I'm going to switch to my powder and grab this anti-fairy here. Yes, because why not? Alright. Alright. Thank you. Alright, so on my way back up, so here, basically, I have to go here and bomb the floor so that I can trigger later on the boss fight. Because if I don't bomb this floor here, even if I bring the boss into the boss room, he will not transform. Just nothing will happen. Okay, so I'm gonna switch back to powder, and hopefully I don't accidentally pick the fairy up and only alright, good. So now we have our safeties. So now we don't have to worry about a thing. I'm gonna grab this safety bomb here. Wow, this is a slow run. Sorry, I was talking to myself. This is an excellent run. Alright, so here we get our Titan mitts. So the next boss is called Blind. Casually, he's probably one of the trickier bosses of the game. But in the speedrun, he's not that hard. He's actually pretty much scripted. And so you can do the fight almost every time you can do it the same way. So you can get 3 quick hits on his head here. And then 3 quick ones here. And now the last phase. Oh, well, I spoke too soon. There we go. Well, I didn't die. I gotta mess everything up. Well, sorry. If you wanted to see a perfect fight, well, too bad. You got me. It's not that hard though. It's pretty simple. Alright, so coming next, we're going to do a little bit of rupee farming, and we're going to upgrade our sword and then head to Crystal Dungeon number 3, which is Skull Woods. This is about halfway through the run, so it's a really nice game. Like, it's fast-paced. There's a little bit of cutscenes here and there, but it's fine. It's a really cool game, and the music is fantastic. Probably my favorite music of the game, the Dark World Overworld. So here we saved the swordsmith, and he will upgrade our sword for 10 rupees. Like you'd think he'd do it for free after saving his life, you know, but money talks. Alright. Now we got our sword. Here's another fence dash that I will attempt to do. It's very precise, but I always go for it in a run. So let's see if I can get it. Nope, I didn't get it. I didn't do it. But yeah, you can get there. You can get a fence dash there and save like a couple of frames. Alright, so now Skullwoods. So I like to use the boomerang in this room because there are some Gibdos in this room that can get in your way, and I don't like Gibdos, so I just like that, you see? Alright, good. Alright. So I just stun them so I can just go past this part much more freely. Alright, so our third bomb jump is coming up here. This bomb jump is very similar to the one in Tower of Hera. It's not that hard. You just place yourself there. I got the perfect pixel, so I can just... I didn't have to bonk there because I was on the right pixel. Alright, so the boss in this dungeon is called Mothula. It's a giant moth, and it's probably the worst. I don't know, I wouldn't say maybe worst, but you can either kill him super fast or it can take forever. And it's so there's a quick strat you can do, but if you miss it, it can waste you a lot of time. I'm gonna try to go for it, but the reason why you can lose a lot of time with him is because they programmed the boss so he wouldn't take damage from spikes. But what happens is if you hit him and he gets hit by spikes after you hit him, the damage from the spikes will overwrite the damage of the sword, so he will actually take 0 damage. And that can be really annoying. So let's see. 2. Oh, alright, well that's why we have fairies, right? Terrible, terrible. Alright. That was a... it was average for me. I'm not gonna complain. But yeah, he takes 4 hits. Assuming you don't hit him against spikes. So that's why you don't want to hit him when he's too close to the wall, because he will automatically get hit by spikes. So alright, so next we are going to leave, grab our first medallion, Quake Medallion, and the flippers, and then head to Ice Palace. So if you have any donations or anything you want to say, this is a good time.
Okay, yeah. I would like to give a shout out to our partner event, ESA Movember. They also have a marathon going to support Movember. That starts on the 23rd of November and runs until the 26th of November. So that should be a great event, so make sure to check.
Alright. So now we're getting to, after doing these side quests, grabbing the flippers and the Quake Medallion, is Ice Palace, and it's pretty much the reason why I'm grabbing safeties for this run, because the boss does 4 hearts of damage, and if you mess up the quick kill, you can die really easily. And not only that, but dying in Ice Palace at the boss wastes a lot of time, like 4-5 minutes. Yo, Bio, yeah, I can reach that. Welcome. So that is why I am taking safeties. All right. Now we got our flippers. So technically you don't need the flippers to go to Ice Palace, but the flippers are required in the game anyway, so this is the fastest way routed to grab them. This is the most convenient time to get the flippers. You can use the fake... Oh, I want that. You can use the fake flippers to go into Ice Palace, but you need the flippers for Swamp Palace. And swimming in this game is very hard. So Ice Palace it's a really cool dungeon. It's so like I said before, there's a very important bomb jump you do in this dungeon, and it skips maybe a little bit more than half the dungeon. It allows you to skip having to do the whole walk around, hit the switches, grab the big key, all that. You can actually go straight to the boss if you do this trick. So hopefully I don't miss it. But I've missed so many things tonight. Alright, so grab this, hit that. Oh, I got hit. That's fine, we got safeties, it's all good. Alright, so here's the bomb jump. We got it, first try. Alright. Alright, so now we skipped, with that bomb jump, we skipped over half the dungeon and we can just go straight to the boss. So my strat for this boss is very different from what other people do. I do it because it's the most consistent for me, but it's definitely not the fastest one. I say consistent, but I can mess it up too, so we'll see. Alright, so I didn't get the quick strat, but we'll just have to dance around this boss a little bit more. Hope he doesn't kill us. Alright, that's fine. Alright, so the scary part is done though. The scary part of the run is done. Wow. I'm ashamed of this run. Can I reset? Okay, so coming next, we have Dungeon 2, which is Swamp Palace, and normally you're not supposed to be there with the Tempered Sword and 11 hearts, so you're pretty much overpowered getting there. So this is not gonna be... You can lose a lot of time in that dungeon, but it's not very risky, as in like dying. You can lose a lot of time though. Alright, here's a trick too, that if you use the mirror as you are moving a block, the block will just disappear. I do not know why it happens, but it's really convenient in this spot. What? Alright. I guess. So yeah, this dungeon is really long. You have to go all the way to the left side of the dungeon to grab the big key to open the big chest. There's a lot of backtracking in this dungeon, and lowering and lowering water, and there we go. Who's on the couch? Well, we have, I believe it's Smurfy, the host, who is reading messages, talking about the event and the donations. And then there's me, talking about the game a little bit.
Is it a good time to read a little?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Alright.
You have a lot of...
I would like to remind everyone that this event is organized by the International Alliance, a speedrunning team that organizes events and marathons on a regular basis. We also organize a lot of open registration events, so make sure to check out the Discord for the upcoming event.
Oh, of course, not forget the restreamer, of course, Keto Fox, the behind the scene guys that are doing a lot of work, spending a lot of hours helping the team in this event. Everybody is amazing. Oh, well, I guess I'm missing every... Hover Argus. Well, that's funny. There are no pits. But, yeah, there's a trick in A Link to the Past called hovering. It's not very easy to do. I will try to do it later on in the run. I will try to do it a little bit just to show how it is. But yeah, you don't do it in this dungeon. But it is really cool to do. I don't need that, but whatever. Okay, so coming up is Argus, the boss here, and he is he's an eyeball with a bunch of weird stuff floating around his eye. So you need the hook shot to just pull them in, kill them in one hit. There we go. And then there's a strat that hopefully, let's see, that I missed, but you can kill him in the first cycle. God. But he's really easy. He's really easy to kill. So this is the longest cutscene in the run, so if you have anything to say, you're free. So we have only 2 more crystals to get, and then the final dungeon, which is Ganon's Tower, and then the final boss. That's it. So we have about, well, I'd say about 30 minutes left. So now we're gonna grab, before going to the next dungeon, we're gonna grab another medallion and the ice rod that we're gonna need for Turtle Rock. I want to have full health going into the next dungeon, so I make sure, if I can, to refill my hearts there. So this is one of the uses of the book. The book, you use it to enter Desert Palace and to read these stone tablets. And I think, yeah, you can also read the Master Sword pedestal, but that's not useful because you know the Master Sword is there anyway. You don't have to read it with a book. Alright, so here's our ice rod. So recently there's been there's a newfound glitch called, I think it's called Spooky Glitch. I don't know how it works or how it's even done, but it allows you to save about 12 seconds in this dungeon. But I never learned it, so I will not be showcasing it, unfortunately. But if you are interested in this run, definitely look it up. And join the LTTP Discord. They are very helpful. Oh, I forgot to switch. Alright, well, let's see if I can do it well. Nope. Well, I guess I'll be slow. I guess I'll be very slow. Why am I missing all these things? It's kind of embarrassing now. Alright. Well, this dungeon... this dungeon is... The enemies do a lot of damage, but it's not as scary as Ice Palace. It's not that really that's hard. So now we're gonna do another trick. In the next room here, we're gonna light the torches the same way we made the block disappear. Here we can actually throw fire rod shots through the rock, the block, and that's why, because when the block is moving, it doesn't have any hitbox, so you can actually shoot the fire rod through that block. All right. Right. So here we're gonna get our last item of the game, the Cane of Samaria. The Cane of Samaria creates blocks that we can lift and use to press buttons. You don't use it a lot in this run, but it's a very cool item. I like it. Oh, well. No God Hover. No, no God Hover. Alright. So coming up is the boss, Vitreous. He can do a lot of damage. So the quick way to kill this boss is to use iframes. And kinda boosting through the so the small eyeballs do 3 hearts of damage, I believe. And the goo on the floor does only 1 heart of damage. So we use the goo to actually to damage us, so we can use the iframes to hit the eyes. It's a little bit risky, but it's actually not that risky. It sounds scary, but it's not that risky. No Zero Cycle. Yeah, I missed it. I messed it up. But I still got it pretty fast. So it's faster than a casual run. Alright. Alright, last dungeon. Well, last crystal dungeon. There's another dungeon, but so Death Mountain is probably the worst. Yeah, it's I hate Death Mountain because there's so much RNG. Oh god. Alright, let me just reset this. So these boulders are completely RNG, and the stupid. And those enemies, the dead rocks, are also super annoying because if you mess up, if you hit them wrong, they will block your path and you can't move. And but fortunately, there's a rock here I can break, and it has fairies in it, so it has a fairy. I can refill my health. I cannot do that. I can definitely not do that. However, Mr. Wonder, who was in the chat earlier, he definitely can do that. He is a very talented player. And shoutouts to him. Shoutouts to Chris, to Mr. Wonder. We were rivals for many years. We were trying to beat each other every time, getting better, getting motivated. But I decided to retire for a while he kept going. So shoutouts to him. He's a very good guy. So I pick up that magic refill because I like to have a lot of magic. In this dungeon, all the enemies, most the enemies, not all of them, but most the enemies do 4 hearts of damage. And it's very scary overall. That was not good RNG. But we managed. I'm very close to the boss. Oh, I messed up. That's fine. I'll just wait a little bit. There. Here, I intentionally take a hit. That's fine. So, normally in this dungeon, the item you find is the mirror shield. The mirror shield allows you to reflect beam. You actually don't reflect them, but they protect you from the lasers from the eyes. But with a well-timed dash, you can actually skip the laser that way and go through without taking any damage. It's not that hard. It's not. It looks cool, but all right. Trinix. Trinix is the boss of Turtle Rock. He has 3 heads. One spits fire, one spits ice, and you have to use their weakness on each head. So I start with the fire head. It takes 5 slashes for each head. Well. Alright, so that was it. It's a pretty quick fight. It can be scary. Got the. That was a pretty nice fight. It was okay. Oops. All right. So we have about, I'd say about 12 minutes left in the run. That's pretty good. It should definitely be underestimated, so. Okay, Ganon's Tower. Probably my favorite dungeon. My favorite dungeon of the game is this one. And this is the one I need to practice the most though. But it's a really fun dungeon. It has a lot of interesting rooms, different strats. And when you nail all those tricks, it's super cool. It's very cool. So in this room, actually skip that warp by bonking. Oh, well, I didn't get it. Wow. Alright, never mind. But yeah, if you bonk right, you can just bonk over that and not having to go through the portal. It saves about a few seconds. Here, I'm gonna use the powder just to get rid of that anti-fairy here, because it can get in your way. So this is the Armos refight. The strat is a little bit different, but with well-timed arrow shots, you can get a quick fight. Alright, so now we're going to get to probably the hardest part of the dungeon, which is called the Gauntlet. It's 5 rooms in which you have to kill all the enemies to open the doors. And and yeah, it can be tricky. Alright, well, we have a safety fairy, so it should be fine. Ah, I didn't get it. I was trying to dash through the whole bridge, but it didn't work out. Oh, so this is the gauntlet. That's the first room. It's pretty simple. But these skeletons can be really annoying sometimes. That was really nice. And then I like to dash through there and kill these enemies quick. Alright. Yo, Parisian player. Welcome. Also, shoutouts to Parisian player. He is an amazing A Link to the Past runner as well. He is actually beaten this game blindfolded, which is amazing. No. I already have a fairy in a bottle, so I'm fine. I don't need I'll refill my health before Moldorm 2 to avoid any accidents. I'm gonna wait here a little bit and hear that sound, because if I accidentally walk up the stairs and the door closes right as I'm up the stairs, everything upstairs could despawn, and I would have to reset the whole dungeon, and that would be really unfortunate. Alright. So this boss with Tempered Sword it's a joke. You just need to hit him 3 times with the Tempered Sword, or 1 slash and a spin attack. So for the memes, we're gonna open that chest, the validation chest. So there we go. It's actually only 20 rupees in the vanilla, but in randomizer, like, people open it just for the meme. So I was thinking, why not? So Aghanim 2. Aghanim 2 is basically, how good are you at geometry? So I got 3 hits in the first cycle, which is the best you can get. And then I'm not as good as I thought at geometry. Okay, but 3 cycle Aghanim is really good. That's actually very good. So here I'm going to try to perform a little hover, which is we were talking about. Let's see if I can get it. Let's see. So basically, you see here, I'm floating on the air, and then, well, you just fall. That was a really good first and second cycle. This is Ganon. So normally you need silver arrows to beat this boss, but when he's teleporting, there's a frame you can hit him. Also, another trick you have here is called torch glitch, and if you light the torch as soon as it turns off, the right torch will never turn off. So you can keep lighting the left torch. Now, let's see. I was a little bit late there. Takes 3 spin slashes to kill him. 12, I mean. So he's dead. Wow. So 133, it's not that bad. It's actually better than what I thought it was gonna be. 133.30. GG's. It was very fun to run this for TIA at the Movember charity marathon. Thank you so much, everyone, for letting me participate. Letting me team. It's an honor. Player.
All right, thank you, New Life, for the link to the past run. That was awesome. Next up,
Thanks.
we have actually myself and Super Viper racing Mario Kart 64 with us a little bit long as set up by stuff as well. So yeah, we will be.
One, which was 9th place, and then he blocked that with a 29.50, and then I got a 29.38.